In this video, we're going to look at how we post the purchase returns daybook to the general ledger. So we have a purchase returns daybook in which we've recorded information taken from credit notes that we've received from suppliers. Now, when posting to the general ledger, we're simply going to take and use the month end or period end totals. We're not going to post information from each individual credit note. So let's bring up our postings list and we'll start filling this with the information from our purchase returns daybook. First of all, we'll record the total of the gross column or total column of £426. And this will be recorded this will be recorded in the purchase ledger control account, because this is the account where we calculate how much is owed to all of the different suppliers. It's going to be recorded in the debit side, and it's a debit because this represents a reduction in the amount that is owed to the suppliers, and a reduction in a liability is always recorded as a debit. We can then record the total of our VAT column, and that will be credited to the VAT account. And it's a credit because it actually represents an increase in the amount that the business owes to HM Revenue Customs. It's an increase because it represents a reduction in the amount that we can claim from the invoices that have been wholly or partially reversed by this credit note. And finally, the net amount of £355 will be credited to the purchase returns account. This represents a reduction in an expense of the business for the year. That's why it's a credit. Hopefully you will note that the total of the figures that we're going to be debiting equals the total of the figures that we're going to be crediting. And that should always be the case when posting information into the general ledger. So let's now bring up our the different accounts that we'll be recorded information into. So we'll be recording the VAT account, the purchase ledger control account. We won't be putting anything into the purchases account. Instead, we will be recording information into the purchase returns account. These accounts already have some postings in from when we were posting the sales daybook, the sales returns daybook, and the discounts allowed daybook. So we'll now have a look at how we post information from the purchase returns daybook into these accounts. Well, that £426 will be recorded on the debit side of our purchase ledger control account. We'll date it the 31st of March, the end of this accounting period, and the description we'll use will be purchase returns, because the corresponding credit to this debit will be recorded in the purchase returns account. We'll then transfer the total of the VAT column into the VAT account. So that's 31st of March. It'll be credited to that account, £71. And in terms of the description, we'll write purchase ledger control, because the corresponding debit to that credit is in the purchase ledger control account. And finally, we'll record the net amount in our purchase returns account. So that's £355 on the credit side of our purchase returns account. We'll date it the 31st of March, and the description we'll use is purchase ledger control account, because the corresponding debit to that credit can be found in the purchase ledger control account. And that is how we transfer or post information from the purchase returns daybook into the general ledger.